what would you consider a silver lining for you, either throughout COVID or a positive mantra throughout life that's really been timeless advice for you and kind of gotten you through any difficult situation?
The best investment that you can make, they always say, is in yourself. And I think there's no better time to do that than right now.
So Jess, I would encourage you to repeat to yourself on a daily basis so that this sinks into your subconscious mind. I am worthy. I am enough. I am capable.
The details that matter. And most people, when they hit a sign of adversity, will give up, not try and figure it out and persevere.
If you're happy with that, leave it. Don't touch it. But if you're not happy with that, it's time to get in motion and pivot.
Create a goal. Like, what do you want out of life? What do you want out of a career? What do you want out of relationships? Reverse engineer it. Like, okay, what are the steps to get there? And then do it.
One is don't let anybody tell you who you are. And the other one is always remember why you started.
Until you go ahead and if you go into a networking event and only talk to the people you know, you have actually not made use of that event.
When you're really confident in your auto drive process, then you set it and you have all the rest of your brain to do whatever you want with. So
I try to bring my knowledge to those businesses because I want everybody to be successful, right?
And make a difference, right? I think the best part about business nowadays, it's not just doing business, but it's also making a difference in all perspectives.
Focus challenged. Yeah, brainstorming or working on a plan will often bring new ideas.
Everything has a starting point. Just if you're thinking of something, but you're wavering and you're thinking of, should I do it? Should I not? What will people say? Don't care about anything. And then just press the start button and get going. And then things will pick up as they go.
Because the risk of looking like a fool on a small, tiny little box on a screen is maybe easier than doing it in person. So maybe this is a beautiful opportunity for that.
Get on top of the wave, get an extra surfboard if you need it. You need to be working harder now than you did before this, because at the end of the day, the relationships you build now are going to be your future customers, are going to send you to your future customers.
Going back to being in transition again, trying to grow your personal brand so people take notice of you, recruiters, talent acquisition specialists, and others as you're trying to make your next career move.
My mornings now have been strictly reserved for, reading and making sure that I'm centered spiritually.
It's okay to be strong. No one's taking your masculinity away. I'm always going to be who I am.
Be brave, take a risk, and not just that, we can do anything. I can do anything, even if it doesn't work out. I've still accomplished the most amazing thing already.
As corporate people, as professionals, that's part of what affects your brand, is just how you read.
You're doing what you love, you have a purpose, you're enjoying it, and you don't ever have to worry about running out of money because you'll do it for forever.
You could be Jeff Bezos, who never failed. I don't want to touch you because you have no idea how to deal with failure.
So when I was in that situation, I reflected on that. Remember, that's what was driving me from day one. Here's your opportunity to do that. And that's why a lot of the attention turned in that direction, because of that little boy from Portland, Oregon, who just wanted to do something different. I wanted to leave the hood.
Enter this new era with a renewed sense of thankfulness. And I think that's the biggest silver lining that I see is if you can hang on and make it through the next couple of weeks to months or whatever, when this is all said and done.
As long as I'm in a better place than where I was last week, I'm happier.
And it's putting that stuff together that allows people to reset their GPS and then finally come out of it saying, oh my God, I've never felt this way before.
Most people's default is to try to tell you why you're wrong or what you're not thinking about. And that just doesn't get you anywhere. So my mantra would be seek to understand, not to overcome.
If everybody's doing their part, everybody gets lifted and humanity for the win.
What if we can, be better humans because of something like that long term?
We need to come in with that mindset, don't we? Every single day, we're going to set up the desk, we're going to do our best, end of the day, put it in the gym locker, and maybe we're not going to come back to the same desk the next day.
You have to default to action, take action. Don't wait for somebody else to do it. Don't wait for the right time.
If there's anything that's bothering you or a fear that you want to get over, do what I did for swimming and start small.
Do something that is totally outside of what you would do for work.
You just need to be brutally honest and transparent and not tiptoe around it and just tell it as it is, because
that's ultimately gonna do what is best for that individual. But I think the problem is that Gen X, kind of baby boomer, even older millennial era, grew up with quote unquote professionalism.
It's okay to have some swag, but don't think you're so good.
The post-COVID times are times when we realize that everybody is actually human.
Because what happens is thoughts become your words, words become action, action becomes a habit, habit becomes a character, and character becomes your destiny.
So when it comes to like optimizing your life, what are the things that you need to do in order to feel the best?
Their intention is to make it work out so that everybody's happy. And so remembering that can be a real lifesaver in the moment.
It's so important to have people that you can, feel like you're in community with.
I think that's when we find our true happiness ourselves, not in what we get, but what we give.
You don't know if other people are being inspired by your race. And so run it true. Take cups of water along the way from people who are willing to give them to you. You never know who's in the audience, and they're gonna start their race too.
Focusing on the things that I'm grateful for.
To, at least for now, is to doing less, but then be purpose and be intentional, be grateful.
I think in life, in your career, you just have to know that things will pass, especially like when you start a job, it's not always the easiest, or you're gonna go through like some challenging times.
I think small actions that we do here probably is going to make a big difference in someone else's life.
Even though it feels more isolating to be virtual, I feel like there is that silver lining of everything's more accessible now.
That they should expect that from themselves.
Right.
That being an entrepreneur and coming up with an idea is in their realm and that they should be doing it.
It's so great to have all of you on with me on Winning Wednesday, especially as an extension of the V team at Verizon.